Hello, I am the one known as Ginjek, and I'm here today to talk about my crit Ice Nova Flame Surge Inquisitor. So, what we're going to do here is do a brief build intro, and then jump into an Atziri run, so that you can see it in action. So, first off, we have our main area clearing spell, Flame Surge. So what we've got is that linked to Cold to Fire, so that we get some ignites in addition to our freeze. We've got Spell Echo, faster casting, lots of casts, and Ice Bite, increased freeze chance, and frenzy charges on kill of frozen enemy. So between crit and freeze chance, we control packs very well and get lots of frenzy charges that way. Now, on the topic of charges, we get our frenzy charges from there, and we get endurance charges from Warlord's Mark, as well as life leech, which is very important for the build. The life leech with Fall Pact, which we use, keeps us alive in between all of our dodging and evasion of hits, regening back up to full really fast. For our second curse, this is a dual curse setup, we use either Assassin's Mark or Enfeeble. If we use Assassin's Mark, that's our primary power charge generation tool and improves crit. For harder maps, I like to run Enfeeble, in which case I use power charge on crit with Blade Vortex to generate power charges, which also works nicely with our build. Now, by blaspheming these curses, it has some nice synergy with Ice Nova, as all of it's centered around your character. So you jump into a pack, you Ice Nova, everything's in the curses, everything gets killed. Turns out pretty nice. With the endurance charges, we have Immortal Call, castman damage taken, increased duration to improve our defense, get some physical immunity, and that about covers charges. For mobility in this build, we use Whirling Blades, faster attacks, and Fortify. So when we jump into a pack, our Fortify gets active, gives us some improved defense, and we kill everything, freeze it, keep it under control, and it's fairly safe within our other defenses as well. So now probably the most unique thing in this build is our use of Flame Surge. Before recent patches, Flame Surge was total garbage. It had a horrible base cast time. It was a pain to get the burning on enemies. It just wasn't worth it. It had a tiny AoE cone. Well, since recent patches, they've buffed the area of effect slightly, I think like 20 or 30%, and increased damage as well, and there are some great new support gems for it. So why we use Flame Surge? Well, it has one of the highest base attack damage, or base spell damages in the game, out of any active spell. And it also has this 50% more damage against burning enemies feature. So that's real nice if you can get a burn either through Ignite or Fire Trap. So for that, in this build, we use either Flame Totem or Fire Trap to get Ignite/Burn, which counts for Flame Surge. You can get some nice damage. Now, the support gems that make this particularly viable, the newest gem in this link here is Elemental Focus, which synergizes real nice with Flame Surge, because the penalty of Flame Surge is that you cannot ignite, and the penalty of Elemental Focus is that you can't apply elemental status ailments. So it's basically the same thing. It's just a free about 50% more elemental damage. More, not increase. You also get some increase from quality on this. But then we use that with Concentrated Effect, nearly 60% more area damage. So even without burning on enemies, we have 110% more damage coming out. And add an Ignite, that's about 160% more damage on one of the highest base damage spells. So we get some pretty absurd damage here. Now it is elemental. You think, oh, well, how do we deal with that? Resistances are a pain. Well, that's why we chose Templar Inquisitor Ascendancy. So for Inquisitor, what we get is these nice crit nodes for elemental. So Inevitable Judgment is the one that most benefits the build, main reason we come here, and that's that critical strikes ignore elemental resistances. So for this crit build, we get to the point where our absurd amounts of damage from Flame Surge and all of these more multipliers doesn't get mitigated by elemental resistance. And so it also helps with the Ice Nova. That's great for running high tier maps where you start getting more and more elemental resistances on the enemies, and you can still obliterate packs by using this. Now Righteous Providence also goes into this nicely, so when you first attack things and they don't have status ailments, you get increased crit chance, so it's easier to start up your crit cycles, get more power charges, and you also have 45% more, or 45% 2 additional crit multiplier, which applies on those with status ailments. So if you're getting that burn for the Flame Surge on there, the Ignite, then you're also gaining plus 45% to crit multiplier, and again, this is one of the highest base damage spells with 160% more damage through support gems and its own specific mechanics. This is pretty absurd. For the last part of our Ascendancy here, we grab Instruments of Virtue, more spell damage cast speed if you attack or cast recently. This synergizes real nice with the playstyle because you're whirling blading around an attack and Ice Novaing. So Whirling Blade, Ice Nova, you're constantly keeping those benefits up. As far as General Tree, we just kind of start here at Templar, go up, pick up area, some life, spell damage, grab the power charges, spell crit, grab our additional curse, more life, power charge, crit, area, same old, crit, fire damage, crit chance, spell crit, la-di-da. Ball Pact, which I mentioned is very important with our Warlord's Mark. And then we have Acrobatics. This is the main reason that, our reliance on this is the main reason that this isn't really a hardcore viable build, because while having 40% total dodge chance for attacks and 30% for spell damage is quite nice, sometimes the attacks still get through, and that's just, you're gonna die occasionally. That's just the nature of this. But with Fall Pact and our 2% Warlord's Leech, in general situations, you just heal instantly back up when you take damage. So the few attacks that do get through, the damage gets mitigated by just leeching back up. And lastly, grab some crit nodes and some life. So we'll look at my gear real quick too. Just some good crit daggers, high spell crit chance, spell damage, some flat damage. On the gear, you just want to pick up your resists and life for the most part. Resists and life. We run a Malagar's Virtuosity for the improved global crit to help our spells crit more and have higher multiplier. And then we use a Carcass Jack. This is really nice. It's not exactly required. I think I made it up to like level 82 until I decided to pick this up just for fun. It was still very strong until I picked it up. And this is real nice because you get increased radius for both of your area skills, Flame Surge and Ice Nova, and you get increased area damage. So on our rings, we want crit chance, more resistances. I just have some cheap rings here, and some cast speed, global crit, and life on our amulet helps out. I can definitely improve my gear in that regard. But yeah, that pretty much covers our little build intro here. There are more details that'll be posted in the description, link to the forum post that I made. And without further ado, let's jump into Atziri. Alright. The random flame trap. So, since I'm running Enfeeble in this map with Warlords, instead of Assassin's Mark with Warlords, I'm going to pop up some Blade Vortex and then jump into packs. You can see From the power charge on crit with the Blade Vortex, I jumped right up to full charges and just kill everything. So you can see how the build works this way. Go in, get Fortify up from Whirling Blades, and just obliterate everything. And you can see my health hardly even dips, and that's just because our dodge, our evasion, and our Ball Pact on our leech just makes it seem like I'm basically not taking damage at all from these guys. It's really a nice situation. Let's see what Kadira has to offer. Ooh, a Voltaxic. That's a bit expensive though. We'll see, I might come back. How much are those? Might I unburden? Let's move onward. Flasks are cheap for this build as well. I just do life flasks, some instant ones, and a mana flask for emergencies when leech doesn't cut it, and then I'm just using a ruby flask right now because normally that'll be a percent evasion jade flask, but I have the ruby in for Atziri, of course. Let's do vaults. Get a chance to see just how much single target Flame Surge has through here. So I drop a Fire Trap on each Vol boss coming up here, so it'll break as soon as they come up. I'll also drop my Flame Totem just to get some extra Ignite. The Fire Trap does plenty though. Blade Vortex gets me up to power charges. I'll let it run out there. But you can see they die pretty fast. I got under there just because I didn't have my power charges all up. Which was me getting distracted. But yeah. Let's move onward. Ball's pretty easy. See, I just start from pack to pack, get Fortify up, and periodically cast my Blade Vortex to keep some stuff up here. I forgot to drop a portal outside, I'll just put one there. Probably won't die, but you never know. Separate. There we go. And there we go. Trio was fairly easy. The astral location. Right. Up we go. Time for Atziri proper. So I'm gonna get my Blade Vortexes up, and then I'm gonna drop Flame Trap, or Fire Trap, I should say, on Atziri, and watch her damage drop. Going right into a split stage. Dodge stuff that comes up, and just obliterate it.
Now to your queen, Porto.
Punch that flame blast.
Queen of one.
I also popped my fire flask, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, regen spinach. This Nova's real nice for this. I can just sit on her and spam it. Do an occasional Blade Vortex to keep my crit charges up. Power charges, I should say. as soon as they're all dead, you can get some fire traps up around. And so you're ready for taking her out. Last split stage, I like to cast my Vol Summon Skeletons.
Ascend through the maze.
Dodge the dual Flame Blast. And she did. Well, that concludes my video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to put a link to my forum build guide in the description. And thanks for watching.